like, what would you say to like someone in the past? Like, because right now I'm actually only 18 years old, so I'm still trying to like figure out what I kind of, I already kind of know what I want to do, but I'm kind of trying to get into the process of actually doing it. So that's like what I really want to ask you, like, what was your journey? Kind of like how, like, because like one of the really big problems I'm facing right now is like, what should I be looking for in a mentor, right? Like, who would be someone who's kind of like good, like who's like what should I be looking for in a mentor? Like, kind of like, how would I actually go about finding one? And like, because like that's what I'm asking like a bunch of people. So like, how did you do it? What is your journey like?
Okay, thank you so much for this context, right? So I can understand
Mhm.
how can I really add additional value to you, brother. So I think first off, your question for me was how was my journey like?
Mhm.
Uh, I started out at the age of 19 years old, and that's where I kind of snapped out my bubble because
Mhm.
my dad's business kind of collapsed and he had to rebuild them. So I mean, I'm from Singapore, so in Singapore, cars are expensive. My family can live in a condominium, a private apartment, right, with three
Mhm.
cars. So that's the kind of
Mhm.
lifestyle we're living. But unfortunately, we had to sell them away and live in a rental apartment. And to me, that was like a big wow, like a aha moment for me because not really aha, but more of like a oh fuck. It's more like a oh fuck moment than an aha
Mhm.
moment. And I said I gotta buck up right now. And when my dad, still see me playing games, chasing girls, not really doing anything productive, he kind of snapped the fuck out of me, and he said, "You're very useless." And those words really just woke me up. And following, shortly after that, I really took time to understand what am I good at. So I did my own method that I created. It's called the art of internalizing. Okay,
Mhm.
so which is one of the frameworks that I use to coach my guys now. I combined, I did my own research through Google. I just literally typed what's my strengths, right? And I found out a couple of frameworks, like for example, Simon Sinek's Start with Why, SWOT analysis that we learned from business school, Steve Jobs connecting the dot backwards, and still got who else? Dean Graziosi's 7 level deep. So I kind of like combined all their frameworks and created one of mine, and that
Mhm.
really helped me to realize that I'm probably good at sales. Knowing that I'm good at picking up girls, why not try that path? Right? So that kind of turned out well. And just want to remind you that my dad challenged me by saying that, what the fuck are you good at? And that kind of was my biggest insecurity. And in order to kind of mend that, sorry, not mend, really more of like, in order to cover up the insecurity, I had to prove my worthiness. I have to show him that I make a lot of money. Make sense? And when I
Mhm.
entered the sales career, I was making good 4 to 5K at the age of 23 years old. In my country, there's considered a good amount of money for a start, right? And my best month, I was making $7,000, but I wasn't happy at all. I felt empty, in fact. And after going to programs like Tony Robbins and all the other programs, right, I had to do the inner work, and I had a deeper realization that the main reason why I'm empty was because I needed my dad and my mom's love, and obviously I'm not getting. All I'm getting is just emptiness and trying to feed my ego. So that's where I realized that the path that I'm on was wrong. Hence, I went a detour. I went to quit my job, went to work for something that I'm more passionate about, which is helping youth to equip them with skill sets, not grades. There's a company that I joined, worked there for close to a year. While I was working there, then that's where I started coaching at the site. Coaching in terms of mindset, in terms of perspective, helping people find the purpose, the passion. I'm just pretty much sharing my experiences. You get it? And
Yeah, yeah,
I was doing it on Instagram, right? I was doing it on Instagram, and I was starting out with $20 for each workshop, bro. You will never believe the price I was charging. $20 for a meal. I literally coach you for your mindset. So that was good, but it was not sustainable. I stopped, and that's where I kind of got lost. I was like helpless. I don't know where to try and navigate from now. I chanced upon my current mentor. They charged $30,000, bro, for 1 year coaching with them.
wow.
I took a leap of faith. I took a credit card debt, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm in. And why? What was the thought process behind that, and why was I doing that? Was because I was dead serious about impacting all these people, all these 1,000 youths that I want to help them. I was dead serious of becoming a dad by the age of 35, and staying at home and supporting my kids because my dad wasn't really around for me when I was younger. You see that? So I know my why. I really know it laser clear. So I just jumped the gun and I just like pulled the trigger. And moving forward, what helped was I get the conviction that shit, if I'm able to invest $30,000 in myself, jolly well, my clients should pay me an amount that I'm deserving of because I'm giving them a transformation that's way more. And that gave me the conviction to raise my prices from $20 to $697, $997, and whatnot, you know. But that's more, it's not about the money, but it's more about my identity, right? I see myself as someone who truly transforms people, not just a fella who share information and share concepts.
That you can provide value to people, and therefore if you can provide that much value, you should be able to kind of get some like if I'm providing like thousands and thousands of dollars of value, like then it's like kind of like natural that like it kind of be accepted that this it can be like a mutual exchange, right?
Hell yes, right? Absolutely
Right.
right. So that was the transition or the identity shift that I experienced. And that's where I realized that, oh, wow, you know, the work that I'm doing now is way more magical as compared to when I first started. When I first started, it's more about little kids like 16, 17 years old finding the purpose and passion. But that is fun, right? I'm still loving that topic. That's why I'm having this conversation with you. But right now, in terms of the business focus, I'm running Calibrate Academy. The business focus is really helping entrepreneurs and salespeople become more powerful, don't creep in fear, be more productive, and more profitable in the business in the long run. So yeah, that's pretty much my journey so far.
Yeah.
Right.
um so I have like a little set of questions which I really wanted to get through, and if we don't get through all of them, that's completely okay.
Yeah.
You already answered so many of them, so
Yeah.
um well well, you've also basically answered all of these. You always wow.
I remember a couple of questions that you asked me earlier, like how to find a mentor, right?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that
That's what I
I
meant.
think that like you know like finding a girlfriend, mentors is really depending on serendipity as well, coincidence, fate, destiny. I don't know what you call it, right? So it's but more importantly is what's your benchmark for a mentor, whereby when the mentor appears, you know, oh damn, that's that guy. I think that's more key as compared to where to find them, right? There's so many places: LinkedIn, networking, social network, whatever. So for me, my criteria was, do I like his values? Do I like his or her values? Do our values align? Do I want to become like that person in one way or the other? For example, someone who has a unstoppable mindset, nothing can chip into his soul. You know, he's fearless. I want to become someone like that. Or is it because he's very strategic and very smart and wise in terms of business planning? I want to be like that, right? So I believe that we can have multiple mentors in different aspects of things. So that's one, right? Do you look up to them? Number two is are your values aligned? And number three is what's your allocated budget for a mentor? I think ultimately mentors are not free, right? They definitely need to there's a ROI for everything. So what's your allocated budget for a mentor? So for me, it was my first time actually getting a mentor. So I didn't really have a ballpark figure, but I was like, you know what, this jolly well should be worth it, and I went for it. So that's the three criterias.
No, it's actually yeah, that's perfect. Like it's still like a lot of the mentality things, right? Like do you like how they think? Do you think that like their level of thinking like would really help you? Do you think that if you became and if you adapted to their thinking, like that would help? And
Yep,
yeah, that
100%.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
You're right.
Um. So like what like so like a lot of the mentality is kind of like how you plan your day. Like if even if you have a really good mental thing, like a mental situation, like if you're unproductive or if you can't really translate that mentality into getting shit done, like that's that like that won't work. So like how do you plan your days, and kind of like how do you kind of go through your day and making sure that you get shit done, that you can actually do things without kind of getting sidetracked, like without going like yeah, so like
Yeah, sure.
sidetracking.
So how I usually plan my days, I'm not sure if you know this app called Trello,
I do not, but I'll just add it. I'll put it as a note.
right?
What was it
T
called? Sorry.
R T R E L L O.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Trello. So basically, I came from a place where I said screw systems and structures. I hate systems. I don't like routines. I'm a free spirited guy. That was my background, right? So When I was doing sales back then as well, I have no routines. I wake up anytime I want. I just good at talking and I just talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. But the irony is that that's why I don't get the fucking success that I aim for.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Structure. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I don't have structure, because I don't have things that people like Elon Musk or Bill Gates or whoever they're doing. Right? So that was a aha moment for me. I'm like, what the fuck are my mentors doing? How come I'm not there? So the reason why is because I don't have a very powerful routine. I don't have a powerful structure. Right? So when I actually have it in place, it didn't feel really comfortable at first, because I feel like I'm forcing myself into something I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But after knowing that, hey, what are my 3 needs? So now some of my needs are like need for achievement, need for growth, and need for love. Right? Need for love and connection. So I kind of infuse, I infuse my own needs into my routines. I give you an example, bro. Every single morning, I freaking eat omega-3. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel the sense of growth. I feel like I'm a top achiever by eating supplements. Just a feeling, right? And every single morning, I would just do these few set of things. Daily affirmation to affirm that I'm good. And when I affirm myself, I feel achieved, right? I feel loved. And another thing that I do is, so I break it down for you. So I start with my morning affirmation. I eat my supplements. I followed by doing a morning stretch or exercise. I do a meditation, and I reward myself by playing one game of mobile game. So it's a mobile strategy game basically. So it's an irony, you don't hear people playing games as a morning routine. But that's
No.
my
Yeah, I
reward.
get that.
You get
Yeah.
it? That's my
Yeah.
reward. Because our human minds always need a reward at the end of the day. That's how we can incentivize ourselves to carry on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was some things that I did for my life, and it has been 180 days right now, right? Of
Wow,
me
perfect.
trying to reiterate my routines, trying to improve. Were there days where I missed out one of them? 100% yes. But right now, right, especially this month, 2021 onwards, right, I told myself, fuck it, I cannot miss a single session. I cannot miss a single item. So it progressed. You see, when I first started out 6 months ago, I was like, let me try to find what work, and I failed. Right, on the days where I don't do the routines, I feel guilty, I feel shameful, and that really just sabotages the whole damn day. And shortly after, I kind of honor my words. I'm like, fuck, Daryl, you better show up. You better do every single damn thing. I managed to complete like maybe 3 tasks out of 4. Not too bad for a start. But right now, I'm like holding myself on a higher standard. I'm like, no, I'm going to achieve all 5 first before I start my day, no matter what.
Mhm.
So you see, like that transition, right, from a guy who's like free-spirited, zero routines, to a guy like me right now. I'm like, even if I don't do anything for the rest of my day, I must complete the routines first.
So
Yeah, and I
So
can
like
feel the quality of life drastically and dramatically improved.
so like having a really strong start to your day where you kind of affirm yourself, you and then you kind of like make make yourself like improve in some way, and then and it's like that little part, the central part of the routine is kind of improving yourself like mentally, physically, and then going into actual, yeah, I agree
Yeah,
with you.
you're absolutely right. And I just want to touch on one point, maybe you find it relevant, right? So most people talk about day routines, but have you heard of night routines?
Yeah, night routines.
Right? So for me, I actually have my eye mask here. So every single night, the moment I put on the eye mask, I condition my mind not just think so much and just sleep. Right? But before that, I'll ask myself 6 powerful questions. Did I show love today? Right? Did I do all my routines today? You see how I trap myself. I
Mhm.
do it, and I'll ask myself at the end of the night, did I do all my routines? So if I say no, I'll feel guilty, right? So I jolly well better finish it so that I might at night I can say yes proudly. And the next thing is how did I show up with fear or did I show up with faith? Because I don't want to hold myself back with fear, right? I'm teaching fucking dealing with fear. How can I live in fear? I can't do that. And the third thing is I call it the swag elements: surprise, wonder, appreciation, and challenge. If you have these 4 things, you will be really a high achiever, right? Wonder to feed your inner child. So I ask myself such questions: how did I show swag today? And also, how did I show? Sorry, the next one is let me open up my app, because the new question that I asked myself. Okay, yeah, right. If fear doesn't exist, what you wish you can do today? I think that was a very powerful question for myself, right? And then the last one is, am I using my time wisely? So these are 6 powerful questions I kind of like tweak it so that I can be more optimized. Yeah, hope this was relevant for you.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like a lot of a lot of the biggest parts about is having like morning success. Like I was watching another like someone else explain like having a nice start to your day is like one of the most important things that like if you have morning success, you can kind of translate that to like success in life in general because you can figure out that yes, I was able to do it. You can overcome that thinking which you can't do something, right?
I think you said it very, really well, right? So if you were to start your day with a freaking snooze, how shitty would that feel?
Exactly.
I,
That
I
I already failed in the morning.
yeah, exactly. You feel the morning, right? I let myself down, right? Yeah. What are some questions that you might have?
Um, you already answered. I was gonna ask, what would you change about your day? Or actually, have you answered that? Like if you were to change one thing about your day or like make it better, like kind of like or like one habit which you have, like what would you actually do?
If I can change my day or like have a habit that I can.
Like implement into your day. So like one thing which you can add to your morning routine, one thing you can add to your night routine, like one thing you could add kind of in the center. Like if you can do one thing a day, guaranteed, like what would you do?
Oh, good question, right? If I can do one thing that's guaranteed, I wouldn't say I want to change my routine because I feel that this is rock solid strong. I'm very comfortable with it right now, right? I think the most important part of it is actually I would say, the exercising part. I kid you not, that's the hardest part.
Feel
So,
you.
so right, if we do the hardest thing every single day in the morning, I think you will finish the entire day well.
Yeah.
So that's like a non-negotiable for me.
100%, 100%. So you talked about how you got a mentor to kind of like learn like to figure out like a lot of things. But then did you actually invest in any like courses online or like what was your process for actually learning your trades and like learning your like expertise? Like how did you go about it?
Right. So I would say that how your question is how did I learn my skills?
Yeah, how'd you learn your skills? Like a lot of the business world is involved in like kind of like how informed are you on like how to do something,
Yeah.
right? So then like because you talked a lot about how you worked in a lot of businesses to also develop your skills. Like would you recommend doing that? Would you say that like that is one really powerful way which you can kind of learn these skills and like that you feel that you really learned like what you wanted to do through those, or do you feel like you could have learned those online or in a more efficient way like?
Right. Okay. Good question. So I will share with you my journey first, and what I recommend after going through the journey. Right. So when I first started off, I was really going to networking sessions. Uh, so I used the meetup.com, try to meet a lot of strangers, but they were nice people, but also they were mean people because I was just a student. So they downplay my abilities and they downplay my worthiness and all these things. It didn't feel comfortable. That was really a mess. What helped was me actually picking up a sales internship, having my
So internship.
managers, right? Having my managers guiding me through. Now they have vested interest to really groom me, and I joined them as a full-time staff, and really my growth really just flew from there. That helped with that spare income. That's where I really reinvest in all these causes, seminars. Um, they were good, but they were like the short burst. You see,
Hmm.
it kind of opened up my horizon for things, but I don't think that they are sustainable. So I kind of like had burst. I meet really good people, and those good people through these events were the one that really rose it up with me. Make sense? So I network. I treat these seminars, right, as a place to find like-minded people,
Hmm.
not so much of learning in a 3-day program. No. So and that helped. I pick up like maybe Facebook advertisement skills, Facebook advertising skills. I picked up some networking skills, communication skills. Shortly after, I even attended a $3,000 business seminar, that our business
Hmm.
3-day business course, right? It was my first time. That kind of helped me. That kind of helped me, but I didn't really apply. You see, I learned a lot, but I didn't apply. Then that's a waste of my money,
Exactly.
right? So after which, I was floating by, trying to do the daily hustle in sales again. Nothing really changed, and it was only after, like, even if you ask me how did I get my coaching skills, right? I didn't really pay for a coach. The irony, I want to be a coach. I didn't pay for a coach back then, but yeah, I just keep speaking to people who are therapists. I'm blessed because I attract nice people through my Instagram. So there was a very generous, abundant therapist in Singapore. He actually DM me and he said like, "Hey, young man, what are you actually trying to do? Let's meet up and see how I can help you." And he shared me how to coach. You know, by
Wow.
by coaching me, I kind of experienced it. Hence, I just literally I learned things very well through muscle memory or through what do you call it? Uh,
Like seeing someone do it and to like applying
exactly,
that.
exactly, right? Through demonstration and all these things, I learned very fast. So I kind of like try it on my clients for free. Back then, I didn't really have clients, friends maybe. So I kind of try on them, and that's how I really learn and pick up skills along the way. So, and once I reached the point where I didn't feel that I was growing, then that's where, and I don't see any results, and that's where I really needed a mentor to walk with me. That was my aha moment, right? No more courses, no more like short meetups to learn a thing or two. I really need someone to work with me for 1 year. And that kind of makes sense for the $30,000 program.
So like what did that program actually offer? Could you go into a little bit more information about that? Like what did you actually learn through that program, and um like what were they kind of guiding you through? Was it like a process, it's like a sales process? Was it a level of understanding? Was it a coaching
Yeah, so
program for?
it's a business and mindset coaching kind of kind of program. So I really learned how to put my offer out there, right? Put my offer out. How do I position myself? What's my X factor? What's my unique factor that makes people want to, purchase coaching
Mhm.
from me? I also learned about like a lot of mindset stuff. Focus on becoming, right? Most people want to have. Like right now, the fact that you're asking me such questions, right? You're asking me on like, I want to have success. What should I have? What do I have to do? Right? Currently, you're working from this frame. And I don't blame you because at 18 years old, I was also from this frame all the way until 25 years old, bro. But and right now, I'm 26 years old. The latest frame that I'm looking at is who do I have to be in order for me to do the shit that most people won't do so that I can have the success that most people can't have. Would you say that's a more empowering frame?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Like
bro.
what can I do to myself right now to get me to achieve these goals?
Yeah, who can I become so that I can
Yeah.
get all these goals, right? Who do I have to become? I wasn't talking about becoming part because becoming sounds scary. Do I want to freaking do sales for 10 hours versus going out there and run 10 hours of running so that I can become a stronger version of myself? I'd rather do sales, man. You see, because I want to do it and I can have money. But the truth is,
Like,
but the truth is you need to become a strong guy with strong resilience in order for you to do all the other stuff. Right? So that's the latest frame that I'm looking at. Yeah.
yeah,
So
100%. That seems like very powerful.
so the mentorship really covers all these things. On a weekly basis, we have like weekly coaching with our mentors, right?
And so were those actually one-on-one coaching sessions, or like were they
Group
kind of group
coaching.
coaching?
Yeah,
Group
group
coaching
coaching.
sessions. Group
Yep.
coaching. Yeah, very, very cool. So like you talked about how like how you did not like yes, you didn't have very many clients when you were starting your coaching,
Yep.
right? So like how did you price yourself to actually be compelling and to actually get those first two clients, which you can use to kind of like build off that kind of like that trustability and to kind of build off your brand? Because you talked a lot about how you were kind of like going online and actually meeting these random people through these services, but then do you feel that was efficient enough, or do you feel like maybe reaching out to like going straight into a professional clientele might have been a better idea?
What do you mean by professional clientele?
Like maybe going to like as you said, like LinkedIn's a pretty good way to reach new audiences. So would you say that maybe going straight into like LinkedIn and offering your service like straight out for free, even without actually having that it's called
I think Yeah, I think the answer to that, right, is go where your audience are at.
Mhm.
So for me, I was already building my audience on Instagram for the longest time, and I gotta give Gary V a huge shout out here, because he
Mhm.
was the one who inspired me to document, not create. And I was just documenting my journey of as a salesperson, slowly converting to a coach. And all my audiences know that I used to do that, right? So when I actually say that, hey guys, I want to do coaching, and they're like very supportive. And my price was not expensive. It's just $20. It's just one meal, right? And shortly after, I was stacking up more testimonials. And as I stack up more testimonials, my confidence grew. And I'm like, let's try $50 now. And $50, I was like, let's try $100 now. And slowly, I raised up the thermostat, and in terms of my own wordiness thermostat, in terms of my pricing thermostat, and I kind of feel more comfortable increasing the price, knowing that the more, and the funny thing is that the irony is, the higher that I price that, the more amazing the transformations are. And it's because there's skin in the game. There's more vested interest for them to maximize their ROI spend with me.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that was my biggest realization. So so the truth is, I'm doing them a service, right? And of course, my offer is always very abundant, right? If they do not like it, at any point of time, call for a refund. It's 100% money back.
Yeah. So like that like uniquity is both like the amount of value which you provide, but also that offer for that if you do not feel that you have personal growth after the session, that you can always come back to me and I'll offer you that refund.
Yeah, you're 100% right, because I understand that in this industry, it's kind of sketchy. It's kind of, people say that it's like fluff and all this stuff. It's either you're really full in or you're full out, right? You love it or
Mhm.
you don't like it. So because of all this kind of skepticism, I have to craft an offer that is relevant to the audience. Yep.
Perfect. That's super super helpful. Um, so like, what are some tips which you would give like an 18-year-old, just kind of like sticks this whether it be mindset goals, whether it be just general thinking, or like how to improve yourself, what are some advice which you would kind of give it to someone who's like still in university or still in college, like who's you're still like just like right now just basically like starting up their journey in either in like the job field or just
Right.
education, right?
I think the best thing that I can tell myself, right? I just want to share with you, 18-year-old self, right? I share my own 18-year-old self is uh, focus on becoming a better version of yourself
Mhm.
rather than working on the skill sets. Focus on the mindset more than the skill set. And I promise you that you will have the success in life. And it comes really, really easier as compared to you having skill set first, then wanting to hone on your mindset. So I give you a further elaboration on that. Looking at one 18-year-old who really works at, he really gyms. For example, he go gymming every single day when he's 18 years old all the way to 21 years old, 3 years of gymming.
Mhm.
Would you say that he has a lot of determination, discipline, and a lot of, for example, perseverance maybe?
Yeah, yeah,
And, and,
definitely.
and
Like being
and
able to
now,
consistently do it.
exactly right, consistency as well. And now this 21 years old gentleman who is not skilled in anything other than going to the gym, you compare him with a 24 years old guy who has been floating by, just came out from graduate, high school, university, or whatever. He is maybe 1 year of worth of experience in sales, but you don't know whether he's disciplined. Who would you hire, bro?
Like if they both have the skill set required, like if they both showed me that
So,
they know what they're doing, right?
right? So guy A just has a good 3 years track record of gymming non-stop, and he really, has that potential probably. And guy B, he has 1 year of sales experience. He's a meh average guy. Never put in so much determination, hard work, consistency. Who will you hire?
That's actually a pretty hard question because like
Yeah,
I'm more of a person who likes security, so I would like personally, if I was trying to invest in someone who would give me the chance to give me the most amount of profit and like the most amount of growth to my business, I would probably do like person like the person who's been going to the gym, but like that's also like a risk, right?
yeah,
But
there is a
then yeah, right. And then or if like I could take a consistent person who like would probably meet sales targets, but he probably wouldn't go above and beyond them, who wouldn't have the dedication to actually, go beyond that. Cause like that mentality, which you're learning through like university is just do the bare minimum, get that passing mark, and you're good. Right.
Yeah. So you see, I love how you break them down to get to the T, right? So there's guy A there, dedicated, going the extra mile. We're not sure whether he have the growth mindset with regards to sales, but he's willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
The second part is this guy who just want to do bare minimum, but he's got 1 year of sales experience. So if you are really a boss, same price, who would you hire? Who would you rather give that shot, knowing that both are uncertain?
Yeah, definitely like the person who shows me that they're dedicated and
Hell
to
yeah.
actually like doing something, right?
Hell
Because
yeah.
like it so that like they can learn, that they can grow, that they can still like because the person who's just has 1 year's like experience and he just hasn't showed something crazy, like that could also be a negative thing because maybe like the lessons he's learned are are not going to be impactful enough, right? Like
Yep.
being right.
You're 100% right. So when you understand that you, 18-year-old right now, is actually comparing someone who's like 18, 21 and all this kind of thing, right? You kind of know that using this hypothetical example here, you kind of know how people judge. So the only damn thing that you need to do right now that you're 18, right, is to work on your values, to make yourself so valuable in time to come when you step in the market. You simply justify saying that, hey, I don't know coding, right? I don't know coding, but I dedicate all my Saturday and Sunday to learn coding. And right now, it has been my 5th year. Do you want to hire me? What would the guy say?
That's actually exactly what I did. I actually had an internship with actually a company. And that's actually exactly what I said. Like while I may not have an experience, I'm like so dedicated to actually learning computer science. I'm so dedicated that I'm actually even like going to university for this course, right? That like I really will have the passion to learn that like through the last few months I've actually been buying courses that are on like Udemy or all these different course websites to actually grow my skills, like so how it's like so like and like that's how I kind of projected myself, and I think that really helped in actually getting that internship, showing that there's someone who's really dedicated, who actually wants to grow and actually wants to learn in a situation.
You're spot on, brother. You're spot on. 100%. You're absolutely on the right track. You hear that? So probably what I would say is that get yourself out of your comfort zone, right? Are you exercising every single day?
Yeah, I try.
Right? You try. So instead of saying I try, you commit, right? I
Yeah,
commit.
commit to it.
So really, you just compare yourself to a better version of yourself. Literally say, today I'm like this state right now. 1 year from now, where would my future state be? Like I don't have to, right? Train for marathon. Right now, I'm training for marathon.
Mm-hmm.
My previous belief is that I can only run fast. I'm not a long distance runner,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because in Singapore, I have to serve the army. In the army, right, I was running maybe 2.4 kilometer under like 9 minutes, 15 seconds. And that was my old identity, you get it? But right now, I'm like crushing my old identity. I'm like, screw it. As long as I set my mind to something, it will come true. So yeah,
Exactly.
right? So it's all these daily consistent thing that you do that you slowly chip into your old identity to create a new one. I think that's the best advice I can share with you, bro.
100%, 100%. So I so agree with exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, one of the another really big thing which you talked about was actually like figuring out these like seminars and actually figuring out like all these people to connect with. So like what is like what are some of the ways which you use to actually find these like, did you just surf the web, did you ask some connections in which you had that do you know any events which are coming up which a lot of like-minded people or like-minded individuals are coming to, or like what was
Yep.
your process of actually discovering these connections?
So back then, okay, how did I, right? The question is, how did I grow my connections,
Mhm.
right? So back then in Singapore, there's this company called Success Resources. But because of
Mhm.
COVID, they got wiped out. But before that, they were having such conventions, such events, such seminars. And I just simply pay maybe $50 or $100 and I get myself a ticket, right? And
Mhm.
with the entrance, with the ticket covered, right, I can enter the event. I really just go all out and network with as many people as possible. And like, hi, I'm in sales. What do you do? And let's follow us. Let's follow each other on Instagram. Cool. Let's do it. So that's how I really grew my Instagram account. and
So
how I
like,
do my connection.
so like, did you try to like, so like when you so like how, like, what was the thinking behind that, trying to like network with these people, right? So like what were you trying to get out of this event? Just like try to meet some people, just to try to grow your brand on Instagram, or you were trying to like help your mentality, or like what was your thinking, that what do I want to get out of this event?
Right, good question. So I give you some context first, right? I came from a place where all my other friends are partying and clubbing, and I'm the only one idiot that is in the personal development space, right? And
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it kind
I
of
feel that.
feels lonely. I can be honest with you, it feels lonely, right? I'm talking about routines, but my all other friends don't do that. So the truth was, I was trying to network and find closer friends that I can pull close into my network and create a community. But I didn't think too far into it, right? I just want to say hi, 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 and whoever likes my content on a consistent basis, we can be friends. So that was my whole thought process for going for seminars, events, and be close to someone. So were there through all these events, right? Were there really good friends, like best friends now? They were like maybe two or three, maybe out of like freaking out of like maybe 30, 40, 50 people I met,
Yeah, yeah.
So but those are the ones that I'm trying to find. The rare gems, like buddies that I can count on.
Exactly. Like the people who you really connect with, not just people who you kind of slightly connect with.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Super helpful. Um, that was really all. Do you have anything which you would like to ask me?
Right. I Let me just stop the recording first.